and gentlemen. Thank you to all the friends, classmates, and loved ones for making it to today's commencement ceremony. A very special thank you in particular to all of our parents for allowing us to become English majors. Despite being the perennial title holder for least employable major, my lofty ambition for this afternoon will be to convince all the attendees that the decision by these newly minted graduates to pursue English for their degree will serve us all remarkably well in our lives. In order to do so, I invite everyone to journey with me through my very own Duke English curriculum. Our quest begins, where else? In the beginning, the Garden of Eden, as depicted by John Milton in Paradise Lost. In our case, this lush garden is the wonderful Innocence Enclosure that is East Campus during orientation week. Instead of Milton's singing muse, we each have our very own first-year advisory counselor. Everything we could possibly need to survive exists here. Our own dining hall, stocked every morning with apples, library, gym, classrooms. It seems we have it all. But soon that first Monday arrives and our fall from grace commences. No longer are we the pure Adam or Eve, but we are recast into the harsh world of essays, homework, and grades. Fortunately for us, the voice of God remains to be heard every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon in Professor Strandberg's lecture. All of a sudden, we are waging academic war, playing the role of Shakespeare's King Henry V at the Battle of Agincourt, riding the C-1 bus into the battle for the West. Though we are more than battling the French, we are battling Trinity College's entire language requirement. Our academic advisors playing the role of the noble Harold Montjoy to bring us news of missing modes of inquiry on our transcript. I was planning now on incorporating William Langland's 14th century allegorical epic Piers Plowman, but Professor Ayres, I'm sorry to say that nobody understood that one. And of course, we all have our first experience as Frankenstein's creation. Though instead of a lab table, we wake up on the common room couch on post-Wednesday night shooters Thursday morning and make the desperate, migraine-inducing trek to our 10:05 in the Allen building on time. Of course, only after having played the role of Jane Austen's Emma and setting up our good friends for a late-night date. After returning from sophomore summer, we arrive in the desolate landscape of Cormac McCarthy's The Road. Everyone we know, save a few close friends, has gone to study abroad, and roving bands of loosely patched study groups roam campus. Indeed, the shuttered-up Bryan Center Bridge in West Union makes it seem like the world has endured some catastrophe. But the post-apocalyptic nightmare ends abruptly as we enter the spring of 2015, and every Duke student's dream comes true in the form of a college basketball national championship. Then again, the average Duke English major is likely more acquainted with the motifs of T.S. Eliot than the rules of basketball, so let me put it in a way more comprehensible to the English major. Coach K is our noble Odysseus, Grayson Allen his son Telemachus, and Michigan State and Wisconsin our Scylla and Charybdis. Enter senior year, the final canto of our Duke epic, and for many of us, the beginning of the most stressful and sadistic part of our undergraduate careers, thesis writing. Now, as many of you may know, in the English department, students have the option of submitting what's called a creative thesis. And so while every other student who completes a thesis does so after grueling hours of analytical, quantitative research and graphing and interviews, we just get to make stuff up. Yes, Duke has been a glorious journey, but instead of saying farewell, let us say welcome. That is, after all, why we call this day commencement. Because in truth, we are none of these characters in any of these works of fiction. We are characters of a very real story that every day we continue to write. Each hour, a new sentence. Each day, another paragraph. Each year, another chapter in the novel of our lives. And as we turn the page to begin this new chapter, let us recognize that there will always be typos, grammatical errors, missed commas and misspellings, mistakes written in pen that we cannot erase. Let us remember to look back upon these scrawled out sections of ourselves with relish rather than with distaste. Because there is no such thing as a perfect sentence, a perfect paragraph, or a perfect chapter. At least the first time. Nothing we have ever read came to the version we read today without agonizing hours of revision and doubt and crossings out. And so it will be for us, as we write our own stories, always crossing out until we find contentment. The very last English class I took at Duke was on Walt Whitman. And on the last day of class, we read the following lines from Whitman's poem, A Clear Midnight. This is thy hour, O soul, thy free flight into the wordless, away from books, away from art, the day erased, the lesson done. Thee fully forth emerging, silent, gazing, pondering the themes thou lovest best. Congratulations, my fellow graduates of the class of 2016.